In this show, I want you to understand how you can get healthy and well by understanding how your body and your mind is working together. This is the interplay of your metabolism and your nervous system. So, today we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is the foundation of weight loss and weight balance. You really want to understand this, as this will make it's so much easier for you to lose weight and stay healthy. If you ever felt like your energy is unpredictable, your weight doesn't reflect your effort, or your body just isn't responding the way it used to, you are not broken. You're likely just missing the real foundation. Hello, lovely people, and welcome to the Reset Lab podcast, where we blend science with practical tools and advice to help you lower stress, sleep better, and build resilience in your life so you can live healthier and more in tune with the life that you want. This podcast is about making science simple, actionable, and personal to you. You will hear latest research, older research, but explained in a way that makes sense for you in your everyday life, along with stories, strategies, and protocols that you can actually use starting today. I am Susanna Søberg, a metabolic scientist from Copenhagen University in Denmark. I am also the founder of Søberg Institute and Thermalist, and I am the author of Winter Swimming, the first science-backed book on cold and heat exposure. Thank you for tuning in today. Let's get started. Today, we will start where it all begins, with your metabolism. What it is, what it isn't, and why so many of us are misunderstanding it. Once you see what metabolism actually is, you can finally make sense of what works and what never will. And that's the problem, right? It doesn't really work. Whatever you're doing, you feel stuck. So this is because you don't have the fundamentals in place. First, let's look at the signs that your metabolism is struggling. So here are the 6 signs that your metabolism isn't working well. 1. You wake up tired, even after 8 hours of sleep. You feel cold, sluggish, or mentally foggy. You crave sugar or carbs all the time. You crash in the afternoon. You feel anxious when you are hungry. You gain weight easily and you can't lose it again. So no matter what you do, it doesn't work. These are the signs your body is in energy survival mode, inflamed, burning sugar inefficiently, and blocked from accessing stored fat. How do we change that? That is what we will learn in this episode. So let's now go into chapter 2. What metabolism actually is, and why so many people misunderstand it. Metabolism is not just how fast you burn calories. It's everything your body does to stay alive. Every cell is doing its work, breaking things down, building things up, keeping your energy flowing in your body. Metabolism is the sum of all those chemical reactions. Think of it like your body's internal engine. It runs on fuel. Everything you eat and everything you drink, your body takes that fuel, mixes it with oxygen, and turns it into energy. And that energy powers absolutely everything in your body. Your heartbeat, your brain, your digestion, your ability to even think or move, recovery even. Even your mood is also affected. When that engine slows down, everything feels off. That's what we want to fix, actually. But we need to understand this balance even further to be able to fix it. And when I say balance, imagine an old-fashioned weight scale. On one side, it's catabolism, breaking things down for energy, and on the other side is anabolism, building things up when your body is healthy. When you're healthy, the seesaw moves smoothly. Your body knows when to rest and when to repair, when to fuel and when to burn energy. But when you are stressed, undernourished, inflamed, or sleep deprived, the weight scale gets stuck. It can't move. And that's when symptoms show up. So as you can hear, there are 2 main parts to metabolism. There is catabolism. This is the breakdown process in your body. Your body breaks down food, fat, or sugar to make energy. Anabolism, this is the build-up and repair process. Your body uses nutrients to rebuild cells, store energy, and grow. You need both actually, but here's the key. It's not about how fast you burn the calories, which many people think metabolism is. People often say, I have a fast metabolism, or my metabolism is stuck, or it's slow, but that's oversimplifying what metabolism actually does. The speed of energy burn is just one small part of it. What really matters is this. How well your body balances building up and breaking down energy, how flexible it is in switching between fuel sources like sugar and fat, how stable your energy is and your mood, and throughout the day even. So metabolism isn't fixed. It responds to how you live, how you eat, sleep, move, and recover. That's what shapes what's called metabolic flexibility. So just remember, it's about balance and flexibility. But what does that even mean? I want you to understand that so you can take control of your health. Before we continue, I want to thank our sponsor of the Reset Lab podcast, Filter Optics. Their blue light blocking glasses have really made a difference for my stress level and my sleep. One of the biggest enemies of good sleep is light at the wrong time, especially blue light from screens. At night, blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. That keeps cortisol high and delays melatonin production, which your body needs to get into that deep restorative sleep. That's why I use filter optic glasses, and I've used them for several years now. They've created two simple tools. Daytime glasses, which filter just the right amount of blue light so that you can protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from screens. Perfect if you spend hours at the computer, which I do. Nighttime glasses, which blocks blue light completely. When I put those on in the evening, it's like giving my brain permission to just wind down. Melatonin rises naturally, cortisol drops, and I feel ready to go to bed. And there's some great science behind it. A 2021 systematic review found that wearing blue light blocking glasses in the evening significantly improved sleep quality and supported circadian rhythm alignment, which is so important for your wake and sleep cycle. I recommend that you try these out if you want to get a better sleep and lower your stress. Try Filter Optics. I'll link to them in the description and give you 15% off with my code. It's a small change, but it makes a big difference. Let's move into chapter 3, where I want you to understand metabolic flexibility, a term that I hope will help you understand your body much better. Metabolic flexibility is your body's ability to switch between using sugar and fat as fuel. That's how our ancestors survived. They could eat, fast, move, sleep, and their metabolism adapted to the moment, the circumstances they lived under. But today, most of us are stuck in sugar-burning mode. Why? Because food is always available to us. We snack constantly. We've built a fear around hunger. And when we avoid hunger all the time, our body forgets how to burn fat. We just keep building fat storage without ever using it actually. Let's look at some science to see what happens when we don't train our metabolic flexibility. And they investigated how well lean and obese people switch between using fuel sources, specifically fat and glucose. So in this study, researchers gave participants a fixed amount of glucose, so this was sugar, and then measured how their bodies responded. What they found was quite striking, I think. People who were metabolically inflexible, mostly those with obesity, had significantly higher insulin levels and lower fat oxidation. That means their bodies weren't able to switch to burning fat effectively, even after they had taken in glucose. And that might sound obvious, of course, but because when glucose is available, your body is usually prioritizing burning that firstly. But here's the key. Once the sugar is processed, a flexible metabolism should smoothly switch over to burning fat. In metabolically inflexible individuals, though, that shift doesn't happen easily. They stay stuck, unable to effectively access stored fat in the body, even when glucose levels are already dropped. In simple terms, their engines were stuck in sugar-burning mode, even though glucose was high because their system was stuck. And once the glucose dropped, they had nowhere to turn. That makes it harder to lose weight, even with similar calorie intake, because they can't switch effectively to fat burning. So, what does this actually mean for you? It means that letting yourself get a little bit hungry before eating can be incredibly helpful for your body. That hunger is a signal your metabolism is doing what it's designed to do, feeding on the stored fuel. But we've grown scared of hunger. We avoid it. Our ancestors sometimes went even hours or even days without food. This constant grazing is a modern habit that keeps us stuck in the sugar-burning mode. So try it. Let your stomach growl. It's not dangerous to let it growl a bit. It's a metabolic flexibility exercise. It's a natural signal that your metabolism is doing what it was designed to do, feeding on stored fuel when it needs to. Another important paper that I want to mention for you. The researchers discussed how metabolic inflexibility is a hallmark of insulin resistance, which is the root cause of type 2 diabetes, PCOS, and stubborn belly fat. When you're metabolically inflexible, you can go between meals without crashing. You burn fat efficiently and you have steady energy throughout the day. In this next chapter, I want to tell you about rebuilding flexibility, the power of intermittent fasting. So, now that we've been talking about metabolic flexibility, let's get practical. How do we train it back? One of the most effective ways is something our ancestors did naturally, but we've nearly lost it, I think. It's intermittent fasting. Fasting is not a trend, it's actually a biological rhythm. It's how our bodies were evolved. We were never meant to have food 24/7. And yet modern life has tricked us into thinking that we constantly should be snacking and eating meals. That's one of the biggest reasons why our flexibility is lost today. But here's the good news. You can rebuild it. One of the most efficient, evidence-backed ways is by strategically going without any food for a period of time. It's called fasting. So your body can relearn how to switch fuels. When you fast, your insulin drops and your liver stops pumping out glucose. And after a few hours, if you are metabolically flexible, your body should start using fat for energy. So this is like stretching an elastic band. So your metabolism needs to move between sugar and fat. If it never stretches, it stiffens. If you train it gently and consistently, it becomes stronger, more adaptable. Just like lifting weights in the gym, then you strengthen those muscles, and fasting actually strengthens your metabolic switching between glucose and fat. Now let's look at science. A study from 2021 from the University of Copenhagen showed that intermittent fasting significantly improved insulin sensitivity and markers of fat oxidation, meaning fat burning, in overweight adults, even without any weight loss. So that's important. It means that metabolic benefits happens before you even can see it on the scale. Fascinating. Fasting improves how your cells handle energy, helping them restore that flexible switching between the fuels. Did you know that your metabolism follows a daily rhythm even? Just like your sleep does. A 2023 paper published in Nature Communication showed that early time-restricted eating, starting around 8 a.m. in the morning and ending by 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, improves circadian rhythm, fat metabolism, and even gene expression related to longevity. So this shows that fasting isn't just about eating less, it's also about when you eat and how that timing trains your metabolism. Another example is a randomized controlled trial from 2020 demonstrated that men and women with prediabetes who ate all their meals within an 8-hour window showed greater metabolic flexibility. They showed lower insulin levels and reduced appetite, even compared to those eating the same food over 12 hours. So their bodies literally learned to switch better between the fuels that I've been talking about without changing calories. So what does this look like in practice? You don't have to do extreme fasting. You can start very simple. Do you want to know how? Here is one way. Finish your dinner by 7 p.m. in the evening and eat your breakfast at 9 a.m. That gives you an 14-hour overnight fast, something our metabolism was built for. When you do this 3 to 5 times a week, your body becomes adapted to it. You feel less hungry, you get more energy in the morning, and your metabolism learns to stretch again. But remember, this isn't a starvation game, so no competition. It's a training method. Just like lifting weights strengthens muscles, fasting strengthens your metabolic switching. And if you are a woman in midlife, maybe, your body may need gentle cycles, maybe 12 to 14 hours of fasting instead of those 16 hours. And on days where you are active or even menstruating, you might eat more regularly, and that's simply okay and normal. You're just responding according to your biology. So think of that. Think of it this way. Intermittent fasting is your daily flexibility workout. You don't need to push your body too much. Just give it a chance to do what it was designed to do. Just eat, rest, hunt your food, try to hunt your food, and rest, meaning let your body have a window of no food. So that's the key. So let's move to chapter 4. In this chapter, I want to clear out a misunderstanding about metabolism. It's all genetics, some people say, but that's not the full story. Your current state of metabolic flexibility is not fixed. It's not fate even. It's just none of that. Sure, your genetics matters, but choices have a huge impact. So, does metabolism actually slows down with age? I get this question quite a lot, actually all the time. A major study published in Science in 2021 analyzed data from 6,000 people across 29 countries. It showed that metabolism stays surprisingly stable from the age of 20 to 60. What actually changes is our activity level, muscle mass and recovery patterns, not our core basic metabolic rate. The study did not find a decline in core metabolism in women as they age, from 20 all the way up to 60. That means your basal metabolic rate stays remarkably stable even through big life stages like pregnancy and perimenopause. After 60 years of age, it does begin to decline a bit, they found, but very gradually. So know your metabolism doesn't just crash at 30 or 40. That's not what the science says. What the study also showed is that activity level, muscle mass, and recovery plays a bigger role in explaining that metabolic slowdown, which many people experience after 60. So after 60, metabolism does begin to decline a bit, but very gradually. But women, and this goes out to all my fellow girlies out there, let's talk hormonal shift. Because this might be the reason you feel tired and you feel that you cannot lose any weight, or you maybe struggle to get your weight down or just keeping it after you're 40. It might not be your fault. It might be your hormones. Hormonal shifting during menopause, especially drops in estrogen, can directly affect how our energy is used and stored in our body, and making weight gain and fatigue more likely. But this isn't because the metabolism slows, it's because fuel management in our bodies and muscle maintenance become less efficient without those hormones. Estrogen in particularly plays a role in fat distribution and insulin sensitivity in the body. When it declines, many women experience more abdominal fat, reduced metabolic flexibility, and difficulty losing weight. A study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that postmenopausal women had significantly lower fat oxidation and insulin sensitivity compared to premenopausal women, even with similar body weight. So no, your metabolism isn't broken, but it is influenced by your hormones, and once you understand that, you can work with it. It might not be your fault. It might be your hormones. During and after your menopause, we see a sharp decline in estrogen and also in progesterone, DHEA, and testosterone. These changes directly impact how the body burns fat, regulates insulin, builds muscles, and stores the energy. And here's the part we don't talk about enough. This drop in hormones directly changes women's metabolism. It's a fact and scientifically proven. And of course, it affects women's emotions, their weight status, energy, and stress tolerance. People, take notes and start acknowledging women's biology. And let me see, well, actually, everything. Work life, exercise, health, science, diet, everything. So now let's talk about the hormones. Estrogen, for example, helps regulate how your body uses insulin, and it plays a role in where your body stores fat. When estrogen drops during menopause, your body becomes more insulin resistant. So what does this mean? This means your blood sugar doesn't stay as stable. You're more likely actually to store fat, especially around the belly, and it becomes much more hard to lose weight, even if you are eating the same kind of food and the same amount. At the same time, your muscle mass tends to decrease as well. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, so losing it means your baseline metabolism also drops. So that's one reason why it's hard to lose weight as we get older. So just to sum it up, the combination of less muscle, more insulin resistance, and hormonal shifts in the body is the detrimental storm of weight gain in the midlife. You need it under control. And we need to put away that it's about laziness. It's not. It's about biology. So this will happen, but understanding it is the first step to taking your power back and learn what you strategically can do to build your metabolic flexibility. Just to make it clear, during a woman's life, her hormonal profile changes dramatically. Estrogen rises at puberty, supports fat metabolism and insulin sensitivity during reproductive years, and then sharply declines during the menopause. Progesterone, DHEA, and testosterone also drops, which reduces signals that helps preserve lean muscle mass and burn fat efficiently. So this hormonal shift can make fat loss and energy regulation more difficult for us, especially around the belly. So this is a biological shift. Yes, but it doesn't mean that you are powerless. Acknowledging the change is the first step. And when we do, we can actually do something about it. You can influence your body with willpower and the right strategies through movement, through cold exposure, through nutrients and breathing exercises and stress regulation. So it's biology you can work with. Yes, it's more difficult than that, but not impossible. And understanding this shift is the key to adjusting your strategies and expectations during and after menopause. I have now given you a breakdown of metabolism in women. Do you think that there is a shift in men's hormones as they age too? Absolutely. You do want to hear this. So what explains the changes in metabolism in men? Just like in women, the decline in activity level, muscle mass, and recovery ability are the biggest, you can say, contributors. But there's an additional key factor for men too: a gradual drop in testosterone. Unlike women who experience a sharp hormonal shift at menopause, men experience a slow and steady decline in testosterone beginning already in the age of 30s, 40s. Testosterone plays a crucial role in maintaining lean muscle mass, motivation to move, and fat burning. As testosterone declines, men gradually gain fat, especially visceral fat, that is the fat around the inner organs. They lose the muscle mass feel more fatigued, and experience lower motivation, all of which gradually affects your metabolism. But again, this isn't because basal metabolism slows down, but because muscle mass decreases, and muscle is metabolically active tissue. There's also behavioral change. Many men become less active, more stressed, and sleep worse in midlife, all of which contribute to the feeling that their metabolism is slowing down or not really working. But that is not the key. It's testosterone. So can we increase these hormones? Yes. Here's how in Chapter 5. I want to give you those tools. How can you improve your metabolic flexibility? Can we actually influence our hormones during or after menopause? Yes. I've learned the hard way that late night screen time destroys my sleep. Blue light keeps cortisol high and blocks melatonin production from doing its job, which is help me sleep. That is when I turned to the blue light blocking glasses. Now I use the daytime pair from Filter Optics when I'm working at my computer, and then I switched to the nighttime glasses in the evening. The difference in my stress and sleep has been huge. And it's not just me. The science is really clear. In 2021, a systematic review by Hester and colleagues looked at 29 studies, including 16 randomized controlled trials. They found strong evidence that wearing blue light blocking glasses in the evening helps people fall asleep faster, especially for those with insomnia, jet lag, and shift work. They even noted benefits from mood regulation in some conditions like bipolar disorder. The reason? These glasses block the specific wavelengths of blue light that delays melatonin production and disrupts your circadian rhythm. So, if you're serious about improving your sleep and lowering your stress level, I can honestly recommend Filter Optics. You will find a link in the description to get 15% off with the code SUPER. Or just go to filteroptics.com and use the code there. We can influence them, maybe not to the pre-menopause status or level, but you can definitely and absolutely support your body in producing and balancing and responding better to hormones. Here are some science-backed ways to support hormonal health in your midlife. Strength training, fasting, cold exposure, heat exposure, high-quality protein is very important, and stress management, sleep, and for some, even targeted some supplements. So these 8 strategies improve your metabolic flexibility and energy regulation. If you're interested in the protocols of all these 8 ways to increase metabolic flexibility, you can get my guide. You can see how in the description below. So no, you shouldn't just accept this decline in hormones, but acknowledge the biological shift that happens and then do something about it. With some smart daily choices and some consistency, you can reclaim your vitality and hormonal strength. With the right strategies and some willpower, you can actually increase your hormonal strength and increase your metabolic flexibility and reclaim your vitality. Let me tell you a story, one that I think many of you can relate to. A few years ago, I met a woman during one of my workshops. She was in her mid-40s, a mother of 2, and had spent years doing, everything right and eating healthy and exercising, and she was doing good. She even meditated. And yet she felt totally broken in her body, tired all the time, gaining weight for no reason, and she could not figure it out. She was feeling like she was losing herself. She said, "I think my body has given up on me." That conversation was years ago now, but I remember it so well because I have seen the same pattern again and again, not just in research papers, but in the lives of real people. And then I realized it's not that we are broken, it's that we've never been taught how metabolism really works, especially in midlife. That woman wasn't alone. And if you ever felt like her, you are not alone either. That's why I started this show. To give you the science, the tools, and the truth. So you can take back control of your energy and your body and your life and your confidence. This show is your space to understand what's really happening in your body and what you can do about it. This show's really only exist to empower you, to give you the tool to thrive in your life. You don't have to wait until you get sick to take care of yourself. And if you're already sick, there is a way back. And I'll do my best to guide you. It's possible. You should believe in yourself. I believe in you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be speaking here directly to you. So change your mind right now. If you're feeling stuck, try one thing and then the next. Before you know it, you are back on track and you start to see the results and feel the results even. This is so important. I want you to make me a promise. Try these tools out and then come back to me and tell me how it went, how you felt. What did it change for you? I really want to know. There is so much we can do. Promise me right now that you will try something. I cannot wait to hear how you feel a change in your metabolism, in your body, how this affects your sleep and your energy level. I can promise you, whether you are a man or a woman, these tools will help you. Oh my gosh, if you only knew what's possible. I learned by doing and knowing, so you can too. I will teach you more in all the coming episodes. Your metabolism is not broken, I can promise you that. It's waiting for the right inputs. It's life-changing. So go on and try some of these tools out. Exercise, cold, heat, breath work. Prioritize sleep to lower your stress levels. Breath work. I'll give you more details, directions later, but don't wait. Just get started and learn along the way. I'll give you something to get started even. There are free resources in the description of this episode, so don't wait, just start and come and tell me how it goes. First one is the Metabolic Flexibility Guide. It's an 8-step guide with practical and easy steps to follow. This is my help to you to get started. Second is my free Thermalist e-magazine with articles that will give you all of the whys and the hows on lowering stress, which is key to improve your metabolic flexibility. And thirdly, I have also put my one-pager, 10 hacks on how to improve your metabolic flexibility. It's cold exposure is one of them, one of my favorite ones, as you probably know. But I have 9 more to follow, and I promise you this is not so difficult. You can just download these and get started tomorrow, one step at a time. Let me know how it goes. Don't forget that. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you next time on the Dr. Soberg Show.